If you've been doing content marketing in any way, shape, or form, whether that's writing books, putting social media posts out there, doing a YouTube video, podcast, doesn't matter what it is, the question has probably crossed your mind. Does credibility matter, and is what I'm doing building credibility for me, my brand, my personal brand, whatever it is that you're going after? This is a really good question, something that a lot of people don't talk about, but needs to be addressed. Simple answer is yes, credibility is absolutely a huge factor with somebody converting for you. This is what marketing really is. Marketing is kind of building the credibility for you and showing people what problems you could solve, how you can solve them, and why they should choose you. That's really what marketing is. If you put it kind of in a nutshell, it's a credibility builder. So then the question remains, is what you're doing building credibility for you? So let's kind of go over what credibility actually means, what that is, and then how you can amplify credibility using content marketing and stuff that you're doing in terms of like social media, again, YouTube, podcast, stuff like that. So think back on the last purchase you made. For me, it was Dick's Sporting Goods. I purchased a couple of t-shirts, some joggers for the summer, stuff like that. And so for me, the reason why I went with Dick's Sporting Goods is because they're a credible sporting goods supply store, and they're really good with their clothes. They have quality products, and you definitely have to pay a little bit up for their products as opposed to going somewhere like TJ Maxx or Target or something like that. But I'm okay with that because they have such good credibility. It wasn't like I needed to go to the store, try something on, or even do any kind of digging and like, hey, is Dick's Sporting Goods, are they good, that kind of thing? No, because they have so much credibility in the marketplace because of the marketing that they've done, but also the delivery of the products themselves, which is a really important thing, the execution. That's what's built their credibility. So that goes back to what is branding. So I've done a video on this, on what is branding. For me, it's literally split into 3 different sections. If you complete 100% of what a brand is, 25% is logos, colors, design, website, stuff like that. 25% is marketing and sales, and then 50% is the execution on the service or the product. That is where almost all of this lies. Credibility lies in all 3 of those factors and those categories, but most of it does lie in the actual delivery, the execution of what you're doing in your business. So that's something you very heavily have to focus on, because if you don't execute well, then there's no sense in doing marketing or sales to amplify that execution, because then it's just amplifying bad service and bad products that you're putting out. But let's just say, for the sake of example, because we trust you that's watching the video, that you are delivering a stellar rock star service or product that you have. So now, how do you amplify that with credibility? Well, you're actually gonna do more sales, marketing, and branding to put content marketing out there. And obviously, one of the best ways to build your credibility is to put out content that is value-based. This is nothing new to you if you've been watching my channel in any way, shape, or form. I talk about this a lot, is, value is followed by currency, and that's what a lot of people don't get right. They try to just literally pitch and sell and pitch and sell, and they never deliver value to their audience in any way, shape, or form, and then they wonder why they're not taking off anywhere. Well, it's because that's all you're doing is selling to people, and people are kind of tired of being sold to now. And so you doing that actually diminishes your credibility in the long run. But if you want to build that credibility steadily and keep that going as you go along with your business, the best way to do it is just to put value-based content out. For instance, with my podcast, REI Marketing Weekly, some of my credibility on what I do and bringing in clients has been built off of that, because I have built credibility for myself in the podcast because I'm replying to people. I'm interviewing somebody and then they say something and then they're like, Josh, what do you think about that? And then I give my feedback on it. Or vice versa, if I'm on somebody else's podcast and I'm delivering value, well, what's that gonna do? It's gonna build credibility for me and ultimately establish me as the authority in this marketplace. And that's really what this credibility factor does. So I look at credibility almost like your resume. This is why it's so important to make sure you have a bio and about me page and stuff like that on your website, and also a bio in your Instagram profile, your YouTube channel, and stuff like that, because people will go check that out. They wanna see, like, if I'm gonna commit an hour a week to this podcast, are they credible? Is this somebody that I should be listening to, right? And that is what will build your credibility. And so that's the way I look at it, is this is a resume builder for you. And the content in which you put out in your marketing is that resume. That's what you're putting out there for people to take a look at check you out and say, all right, Josh Culler is credible, very cool, I'm gonna listen to this podcast now, because he's had really good people on the show, and what they talk about is something that I need very consistently. Now, obviously there's the argument of like bigger brands, take for instance like a Nike or Apple or whatever, and so they have obviously massive credibility in the marketplace in which they're at. Nike has huge credibility in sporting goods, Apple has really big credibility, probably the most credibility in terms of technology or consumer products, consumer electronics. And so how did they get to where they're at? Well, they just delivered really, really good products and then amplified that with the marketing spend that they were able to deploy, that marketing capital, millions and millions of dollars, to amplify what they're actually doing. And so again, going back to execution, this is more of a business practice than marketing, but some of the best marketing that you can do is the delivery of your service or product, the quality of the product, the quality of the service that you're putting out. This is why word of mouth marketing is so popular and such a really big source for a lot of people, because word of mouth by nature is credibility, right? So somebody uses your service, they say, oh, Josh did a really good job, so I'm gonna go tell my buddy over here, John, about Josh because he could really use his services. So he goes tell John, John is connected with me, and then John starts using my service. Well, I would not have John if I didn't have credibility because I delivered an excellent, stellar service to Joe. And Joe says, this is a really good service, so I'm gonna go tell other people about it. That is credible marketing, right? And so I know I'm going in a lot of circles here, but this is something that I wanted to really tie back together, is that the execution is the biggest credibility factor that you can build, but you amplify that credibility by putting marketing out, by putting content out, and giving value-based marketing out there to the audience that you're going after. So hopefully I didn't go in too many circles. I know that was a little bit of a philosophical type business strategy thing more than marketing, but I just wanted to tie those things in together because they all do make sense. If you really boil it down, everything that I talked about and mentioned does tie back in together at some point. And so that's what I got for you guys today. If it brought you value, make sure you give this video a really big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure you do check out all the links down in the description below to connect with me. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.